From WBBZ-TV Sports, it's time to beat the champ. Now, here are your hosts, Paul Peck and Sue Novoitsky.
Welcome to a very special edition of Beat the Champ. My name is Paul Peck, joined by Hall of Fame bowler Sue Novoitsky. We're at Manor Lanes in Tonawanda, and today we are going to focus our attention and the cameras on the Buffalo League of Sightless Bowlers, a league that participates here at Manor Lanes, Sue, and I'm excited to see these amazing and inspirational athletes.
Yeah, we have 4 different teams from around the area representing their own regional area. And we'll see them do the sport they love.
Yeah, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be great. We're going to get some real insight into the role and the people that help make all this happen. So it's a special edition of Beat the Champ, the Buffalo League of Sightless Bowlers. Let's get rolling. And our first match from here at Manor Lanes will feature the Kenmore Lions team versus the Sheridan Drive Lions team. And right off the bat, that is Felicia Karaszewski with the first roll for her team from the Kenmore Lions. Felicia Karaszewski, Sharon Chancozy, and Alice LaPointe will make up the Kenmore Lions team. And the Sheridan Drive Lions will maybe made up of Rod Clark, Patsy Dimon, and Ruth Bland. And to tell us a lot more about this league and what Manor Lanes has done to help this league, we've got a couple of special guest commentators joining us here. We are joined by the executive director of the Buffalo League of Sightless Bowlers, John Schaefer, and our buddy Jim Russo, the former owner whose son Brian owns Manor Lanes here. Guys, thank you very much for being on here and being a part of a very special episode here of Beat the Champ.
Thank you very much for having us.
John, give us a little bit of an overview and tell us a little bit about what this league is all about.
Oh, sure. The Buffalo League of Sightless Bowlers was formed in 1956. They bowl every Saturday, and it's to help the blind and the handicapped for entertainment, enjoyment with fellowship, and also the opportunity to get some exercise. They're not the best, but they're not the worst. My average is 98, theirs is 104, so we'll just go from there.
Well, it sounds like you need to be hanging out here with Jim a little bit more often.
Well, I don't know.
You gotta coach him up.
All right. Jim, what's the evolution of how this league comes to call Manor Lanes its home?
Well, I think they came to us more than 20 years ago, and they've been here ever since with a 1-year hiatus. They decided to go somewhere else and found out that the staff here was much more accommodating and much friendlier.
You wore them down a little bit, right?
And they came right back the next year. So, and they've been with us ever since. And we really enjoy being able to showcase a different type of bowler.
Right. Hey, nice round of applause. That's Rod Clark, I believe, right,
Yes,
John?
sir.
Good job there by Rod bowling for the Sheridan Drive team.
Rod is a total blind.
Total blind. So this is really quite an experience for him. Then.
Correct.
So now when you talk about total blind and whatever, give us a sense of not everybody is facing the same challenges here?
No, we have some that are partial who can see enough to be able to bowl and tell what pins are left, but yet not able to get around on their own a lot. Mm-hmm. The total blind need total help. Their sight is none at all. We have a tournament every year, and we categorize the people by their sight ability on who they bowl with and how they bowl. Mm-hmm. And that way they win trophies, cash awards, just like a regular league. A couple years ago, we had a bowling tournament in Chicago, Illinois, and we had a total blind person bowl at 300.
Wow.
Wow.
Impressive.
So I do that in 4 games.
Now, tell them about the fact that the league is certified.
Oh, yes.
And who are they certified by?
We're certified by the Upstate Blind Bowlers Association, and we work with them, and they have leagues in Buffalo, Erie, Pennsylvania, Rochester, Syracuse, Albany, and Binghamton. And twice a year we get together for regular tournaments. One thing I would like to clear up with people, they say sight impaired people bowl with the bumper guards up. No, they don't.
Right, none of them are out
As
here
we
now.
can see,
Yep.
it's a regular bowling league, just like you and I bowl.
Right, now, our viewers will notice that they do have the rails alongside the lane, and that's for the guidance for the bowlers to kind of know what direction they need to be heading in. Let's watch this one.
Wow.
Hey, how
nice
about
shot.
that?
That's a good one, Patsy.
How about that? That's Patsy Diamond. Nice job for the Sheridan Drive Lions team.
We have the rails are up to guide them to the foul line, because with legal bowling, no one can be on the platform with a bowler. So in order to keep our sighted people from going up there to help them, they have the rail to guide them to the foul line, and they pretty much balance themselves. And then our sighted bowlers help them and tell them what pins are left standing so they can restructure their approach.
There's a nice ball.
Wow.
Yeah, well done. Well done. Good job there. So, Jim, what was the, did you have to do any changes? Did you have to make any adjustments when this thing first evolved, other than getting the rails set up?
No.
I mean, there really isn't any, it's not any different than any normal
No,
league, right?
the biggest key is to get the volunteers to come in and help. And John can tell you more about that volunteer group. And they come in. We have some of our high school kids that come in and help. He has some adults that come in and help. Of course, relatives and friends of the sighted or partially sighted. So that's generally where we're at with it. We, as far as the bowling center is concerned, we help them. I'll tell you, this group has probably the best sense of humor out of any league that we have in the bowling center. And to spend a little time here on Saturday afternoons is just a joy, because it's kind of uplifting. They're like I say, you put a bowl of popcorn in front of them, and John will move it so that and they play little pranks on each other, and their jokes are funny, and they're just a great group to be around.
That's fantastic. I know the Lions Club, of which you're involved in, John, has a
Yes.
large role in this. The Lions are an incredible organization, and I know you've always been very partial towards sighted and blind folks and glasses and all that stuff. So tell us a little bit about the role of the Lions Club.
Okay, I'm past district governor for the District 20N, which is Western New York, and the Lions support our league 100%. We just had a big tournament here in Buffalo with 100 blind people from all over coming here to bowl, and they helped us pay for everything.
Fantastic.
Our clubs run from Alcott all the way down to Jamestown. Now, of course, being in Buffalo, we have nobody from Jamestown bowling. But the Jamestown Lions and Dunkirk Lions still send in their donations every year to help these people enjoy their life and have a good time.
That's wonderful.
And they're a wonderful group. They've come in when we had our state tournament. We had Lions from Sheridan Drive Lions come in and spend the whole day with them, helping getting them to the restroom and things. Our league can pretty much find their way around Manor Lanes, but you get somebody from Binghamton that's totally blind, they're lost. It's like you and I going to Chestnut Ridge Park. So they're a pretty good group, though. They really work hard, and it's a great and they never put each other down. That's a wonderful part of it.
That's
You know?
fantastic here. What other things are the Lions, and again, in your role with the Lions, what are some of the other things that the Lions are involved with around our community?
Our community, they do a lot of fundraising, and when they do, they use the money. All the money we raise in Western New York stays in Western New York. We give to school scholarships. We donate money to hearing aids, eyeglasses, food pantries, senior citizen groups.
This feels like a good time to take a short break. We'll be right back with more action on Beat the Champ. Welcome back to Beat the Champ. Let's get back to the action here on WBBZ-TV.
But most of our volunteers are bowlers this year. Well, about 5 years ago, we opened it up to the volunteers because they spend the whole day here with us. So before that, it was totally sight impaired. Now we have 2 sight impaired and one sighted person per team, and that way they can pay attention and help them.
That's a great idea.
And
Here we go.
Watch it, watch it.
they bring the bowlers
Almost.
every Saturday, and when we go on tournaments, we don't have to run a bus. They drive their own personal cars and take the people to the tournament. And while we're at the tournament, we go sightseeing and do other things that help them out.
Right, wherever you go, you
Right.
take in the
And
area.
we've been to Florida, we've been to Indianapolis, we've been to California,
Wow.
so North Carolina,
So state-wise, every year you go to a different area of the state.
every year.
So you have a state tournament.
State tournament, and then we have a national tournament.
So just like anybody else.
Yeah,
does.
just like, the only thing we don't do is a traveling league.
Right.
We bowl at Manor Lanes every week.
Well, you bowlers do like to travel when you're successful, don't you?
You cannot hold us back.
We do encourage everybody bowling at just Manor Lanes or Manor Lanes too.
Of course you do.
I had to mention
Of
that.
course you do.
You know, when John
Right.
was talking about the youth coming in and helping, volunteering to set up the rails and guide the bowlers, one of the things through the Bowling Proprietors Association is we give a $1,000 scholarship every year. And one of the
Hey! There's a strike.
That's one of our wonderful volunteers.
It was on the second ball though, so it's a spare. But
That's
it was
okay.
Hey, Ruth.
But I started saying that one of the things that we judge when we consider these kids for the scholarship is their community involvement.
Right.
And helping in a program like the Sightless League goes a long way toward fulfilling that portion of their resume.
All right, we're into the 10th frame here, and we're still in a pretty tight little match between the Sheridan Drive Lions and the Kenmore Lions. So this one is up for grabs, and then the winner of this match will advance on to our championship match to take on the winner of our next match, which is the South Buffalo Lions and the Cheektowaga Lions.
Now, I noticed, John, that all the rails are on the left. What do you do if you have a left-handed bowler?
Well, we've been blessed. We don't have one.
Okay.
But we have rails.
You'll have to get Jim to buy more rails.
No, our Lions Club buy our rails
Oh,
for
terrific.
us.
Very
Yes. We do have a couple left-handed rails for anybody that comes during tournaments.
Another good ball.
Wow.
Oh, is it going to fall? Not quite.
And I do want to say that Manor Lanes have been wonderful to us for many years. And when Jim was owner here, he made sure the rails were set up for us. And now that Brian's in charge, he does it. And with the help of with Vinny, they have them all set up for us when we walk in here. And it's a blessing to have somebody to help. Mm-hmm. One person can't do it all, and that's why we're always looking for volunteers.
How many teams do you have on Saturday?
9.
9? Because I used to bowl travel league, and we used to come on Saturday afternoons, and they'd be finishing up when we
Yes.
came in. So I saw a lot of the bowlers, and they'd be milling around the bar and staying afterwards and hanging out, and so it was a nice thing.
It's sociable as well as physical, and
Yeah.
Well, that was Rod trying to grab that spare there, and he almost got that last pin
But
to
his
drop.
team ended up
But his team
prevailing.
comes up with the win. So the Sheridan Drive Lions come up with the 70-61 victory over the Kenmore Lions. So the Sheridan Drive Lions are going to advance on to take on the winner of our next match. So when we come back here to Manor Lanes on this very special edition of Beat the Champ, we'll have our next match as we highlight the Buffalo League of Sightless Bowlers. John and Jim are going to stick around. Stay tuned. Next match is coming up next. Well, Sue and I are joined by the members of the winning Sheridan Drive Lions team, Ruth, Rod, and Patsy. Ruth, you pulled off a nice little spare there.
did a good thing.
Tell me how much you enjoy doing this.
I love doing this. This is the greatest group to bowl with ever, really. They're fun, and when you miss, they're still laughing and loving you, so we're good.
That's a pretty good compliment, huh, Rod?
It's an excellent compliment. She's a nice spare.
What brings you out to do this? How much fun do you get from this?
I have a lot of fun with it. I go to tournaments, and I just love bowling. It's a very good sport for vision impaired and totally blind people. So, excellent sport.
Well, good, and you guys are showing how excellent you are. And Patsy, what is it about this that you enjoy so much?
I'm a newbie, so it's fun to try.
Well, good. So you're getting out there and you're starting to learn, aren't you?
Yes.
These guys are pretty good, aren't they, Sue?
Is this your normal team? Do you normally bowl together?
No, sometimes, it depends on how we set it up for the fall. So sometimes we don't get to bowl with each other, so it's competition, so we all get to laugh later, like, we got you.
Well, you
got you.
We compete.
So it's competition later.
All right, well, guess what? You guys aren't done yet because you're going to sit around and wait to take on the next team for the championship. That's coming up next as we continue our wonderful special edition of Beat the Champ. We're back at Manor Lanes in just a moment. It's time for the second match of our very special edition of Beat the Champ as we highlight the Buffalo League of Sightless Bowlers who are regulars here on Saturday afternoons at Manor Lanes in Tonawanda. And this match will feature the South Buffalo Lions versus the Cheektowaga Lions. And we are ready to go. We are joined here, of course, by Sue Novoisky, and we are joined by the director of the league, John Schaefer, and our buddy Jim Russo from here at Manor Lanes. So here we go, second match of the day.
Cheektowaga against South Buffalo. Ought to be interesting.
And a good start. The South Buffalo team made up of Ken Cooper, Debbie Gajewski, Bob Brown, and Sandy Smith. And the Cheektowaga Lions, Paul Yergay, Murray Daimon, and James Griffin. So, John, how do you break these teams up? Is it are they affiliated in some way from the area that they live in? How do we get the different teams?
No, how we do it is at the end of the year, we take the averages at the beginning of the year. That way, we can have an even amount and have a good competition. All right, Paul. Paul is one of our totals.
Paul Yergay with the nice spare right there.
But we take our ending year average and we try to match up the team so everybody starts within a 15-pin gauge so we can have some competition.
I know what you would normally tell Kenny after that gutter ball.
I know, but I can't.
Try to contain yourself. Kenny is one of the more humorous Sightless bowlers.
Well, I can't wait to get a little running commentary from him as we move along.
Yeah, we should bring him over here.
I would assume when you're doing that, John, you're seeing the improvement. You're starting to see these guys and gals start to get better every year,
yes,
right?
yeah. We have, at the end of the year, we have a large picnic and banquet. And we always give the blind, total blind, the partial, and the sighted most improved bowler through the years. They get a gift card from Tops. Mm-hmm. And they all look forward to that gift card.
Of course.
John can't forget that card.
Nice ball. Even get a little turn on that ball.
Yeah, very
Sue.
nice little bit of hook there at the end, huh?
Now, Murray is originally from the Buffalo area, and he moved up to Albany and bowled with our Albany League until he received a stand. Most of these people work.
Do they?
Yeah, they have stands in our state and federal buildings. They sell coffee, donuts, candy, and stuff from them. And Murray got an offer for a good stand here in Buffalo and just moved down here 3 years ago.
Did anybody notice that he knew what he left without being able to see it?
Yes, he could tell by the sound. He's one of our bowlers that used to bowl when he had sight, so he pretty much can tell when it falls.
Right, I've known people, Jack Dirk for one, can turn his back and know exactly what pin is left, like with almost dead accuracy.
Wow.
That's why
It's amazing.
I
It
won't
does
be
have
a
a sound.
pin spotter for him. Because I can't pin spot without the chart up on the wall.
Oh, really?
And if I call the wrong pins, he'll say, no, that ain't right.
So he can just tell by the way he throws
Yeah.
it and how the sound is.
The sound of the pins.
Yeah.
You can tell a 4-pin.
That's
4-pin
very
has a sound,
impressive.
10-pin has a sound.
See, without the sight, they increase their value on other senses.
Right.
The smelling, the sound.
And I noticed some are not even using the rail in this match.
Right?
All right.
Well, who's that who just got the strike?
Sandy Smith.
Way to go, Sandy. That was very impressive. That was one of the nicest throws we've had
Yeah.
so far, huh?
She didn't use the rail to go up to release the ball, but she used the rail to come back off the
Yeah.
approach.
That's okay.
She got excited.
That's okay. Yeah, that's very interesting, John. Like you said, that all these folks do work regularly. So,
Yes.
you know, they're fitting this in their schedule of hobbies and activities like anything else.
Correct. And some of them bowl in other leagues, too.
So there are other leagues for them to bowl in and other opportunities for them to bowl?
All the sighted leagues will accept a sight-impaired person. We've never been discriminated against by any sighted league. We also have a smaller league that bowls on Monday night in the city of Buffalo by the name of Queen City. And anyone that's sight-impaired can bowl there with them. But right now we have about 7 bowlers that bowls with the regular league on Friday night. So
Wow.
we've never been discriminated because of the
That's
sight
terrific.
problem.
That's wonderful.
Now this gentleman that just bowled on lane 20 didn't use the.
Jim Griffin is sighted. He's one of our volunteers.
Okay.
We have 8 sighted bowlers out of 30. One for each team.
But of course, you couldn't do it without their help.
Right. And for many years, they came and just sat in the background. And a couple of them said they wanted to bowl. And so I went to the league and we had a meeting and decided as long as they drove the sight impaired and helped them with the bowling, they could bowl. So we have 2 sight impaired and 1 sighted on each team.
Oh. She throws the ball awfully well
I'll
also.
say I was
Yes.
thinking a lot of good
Debbie
ball
is a
speed.
wicked throw.
Yes.
We're going to be back with more Beat the Champ bowling action in just a minute. Welcome back to Beat the Champ. Let's get back to the action here on WBBZ-TV.
You know, and again, I'm just intrigued by watching, you know, the setup and the motion and how focused these guys and gals are on what they're doing.
And I think by showcasing these bowlers, I think maybe we have an opportunity to get a few more volunteers involved, maybe even some more bowlers for
Sightless
you.
bowlers, yes.
So
Yeah.
if there are any sightless bowlers or sightless people out there that would like to do it, we have a prime example of how you can get out of the house, participate in a sport, have fun with people, do a social event, and you guys do pretty good at the bar too.
Oh, yes.
Well,
If there
just
was
like a
someone
traditional
that
bowler.
did want to inquire, who would they contact in order to inquire?
They could call me at home.
At home?
Yes.
Do you want to give your phone
Sure.
number over the air?
Sure.
That's your call,
Hey,
John.
I'm single, too.
That's your call, John.
Yes, anyone interested in volunteering or joining as a bowler, give me a call at 288-9466. It is 716 area code. I have an answering machine. Leave your name and number, and I'll get back to you, or else I'm sure Manor Lanes would also take
Sure,
some
can
calls.
forward any of that information.
And-
John, give the number too one more time.
288-9466.
Or just reach out to the gang here at Manor Lanes, and if you're interested in being a part of it, Saturday afternoons, what time do you start?
12:30.
12:30. Well, you can certainly come at 12:30, and if not, the folks at Manor Lanes will get your contact information to John, and I'm sure he'll give you a personal phone call and invite you to come out.
Yes.
So yeah, if you're interested in being a part of this and helping out, or maybe there's a relative or a friend of yours who's sightless or impaired by their sight, and you're looking to help them be more active and get them involved. Maybe they were bowlers and didn't even know this existed. Here's a great avenue for you guys to get everybody involved.
And we also take handicap, not just sight impaired.
Perfect. Even better
if
too.
there's a handicapped person out there that would like to bowl, we can work on it. Manor Lane has a lot of the equipment that we would need to work with a handicapped league.
Mm-hmm.
So.
The number here at Manor Lanes is 875-8814, area code 716. Again, 716-875-8814. And like John said, if you call here, we'll definitely get the information to him and let you know what to do from there.
Right, and of course we've been flashing the website address on the screen at manorlanes.com, and obviously the phone number and everything is on there as well too. So please, if you're intrigued and excited by what you've seen here, and you want to get involved, there's a lot of ways for you to make sure that happens. So we encourage as many people as can to reach out and be a part of this. So because if you're not inspired by what you've seen here over the last 30 minutes or so, I don't know what it would take to get you inspired. This has been wonderful to watch. And the bowling's been really good too.
Hasn't been bad.
Really good. We're coming down the stretch of this one, and it looks like the Cheektowaga Lions are cruising on their way towards the final game here.
Now I can't go to my next Lion meeting because I belong to South Buffalo.
Uh-oh, you're in trouble now. You're in trouble now.
But I live in
see?
Cheektowaga, so
right.
I guess I'm saved.
Well, you're the guy that makes up the teams there, John. So you're the general manager. You take the heat for all the player acquisition.
Let me ask you this. Are there any other sports or are there any other activities that the sightless do?
Yes, we have baseball in Grand Island at Miracle Site.
And they have that wonderful Miracle Field there in
yes.
Grand Island. It's fantastic.
And that's
for the Challenger Series for softball and for baseball, right?
And yes, and that's the Sabres and the Lions went together and built that.
It is a magnificent facility.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful, and people should go and see how the activities go at these.
Yep, and I know that I'm involved a little bit out in where I live in Hamburg, and we have a Challenger League out there as well that plays at Howe Field at Hamburg High School on Saturday mornings, and we're always talking about trying to get our own Field of Dreams out there as well too. So, and I know that almost every community in Western New York has those as well.
Oh yes, yes. You live in Hamburg.
I do.
We have a Lions Club in Hamburg.
I'm friends with some of your members.
Oh, just friends, not a member?
Not a member at all, but I'm friends.
He's recruiting for
I know, he is
everything.
recruiting, isn't he?
Bowlers, volunteers,
That's okay.
Lions Club.
That's okay.
Paul had to fit that in with one of his 6 jobs.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's all right.
Hey,
Good one, Paul.
And in the 10th frame, he got the spare.
There you go. Well done.
Are there any other sports besides baseball?
There's
What else?
also hockey.
Hockey.
Wow.
Yes, they have a hockey team in Chicago.
Sightless.
Sightless. They have a beeper. Puck.
No
Puck.
kidding.
I wouldn't say that right.
Please say that.
Not bad. 5.
All right, here comes our strike artist one more time. It's Sandy Smith.
Yeah, but she doesn't get a turkey, even though she's got 2 strikes. You
You're
got to
not-
get them together.
You're not buying any turkeys for Sandy today?
No. You got to get them together.
Let's see
Throws
if,
a really
Sandy
good
can do
ball.
it again. Yeah, let's see if she can do it again here.
A little pull that time.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Okay, a little story about Sandy. Sandy is bowling with the ball that is 75 years old.
Really?
It belonged to her mother.
No kidding.
And when her mother passed away, she had it filled and re-drilled so she could use it.
So that
Wow.
ball's almost as old as you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Today I feel it.
All right, Sandy's going to try to pull off the spare here to wrap things up in the 10th frame. Almost. Yeah, there you go. Doesn't matter. She's having fun, and that's the most important part about it. So it's the Cheektowaga Lions that come up with the victory. Yay! There you go. You got a big cheer for the Cheektowaga Lions.
Yay!
So, well, not yet, not quite yet, because they've got a championship match against the Sheridan Drive Lions, and we will talk to some members of the winning Cheektowaga team when we come back to Manor Lanes on this very special edition of Beat the Champ. Well, Sue and I are joined by the victorious South Buffalo team that has advanced on to our final match here. And Sandy Smith, we got to talk to you about your performance. You had a couple of strikes, some spares today. Tell me, how much fun are you having out there?
I have a lot of fun. I love my bowling.
Now, have you always been a bowler? Is this something you've always done?
I've been bowling ever since 1960, and I bowled on Bowling for Dollars with Ed Hill.
Oh, yeah, sure, over on Channel 2, absolutely.
And that was 1994, 95.
And how much does it mean to you to be able to continue taking part in the sport that you love?
I just love it.
All right, well, good. And the rest of your gang here are doing a pretty good job as well, too. They're making sure that their hair looks good. They're making sure that they got everything taken care of. Guess what? You got more bowling to do. We're going to come back with the final match of this very special edition of Beat the Champ. It is coming up next right here on WBBZ-TV. You go get them, Sandy. Yeah. Welcome back to Manor Lanes in Tonawanda as we continue to highlight the Buffalo League of Sightless Bowlers. We've had some wonderful and inspiring performances so far, and now we've got our two winning teams squaring off against each other. It's the group from Sheridan Drive Lions Club versus the group from the South Buffalo Lions
Penny is
Club.
going to take a lot of heat for this.
Oh yeah, yes.
We're joined by Jim Russo of Manor Lanes and John Schaefer, who runs the league here that bowls on Saturdays at Manor Lanes. We've had a lot of fun and learned a lot of information about how this league came about and what it does, and we've had a chance to meet the wonderful participants in this league and how inspiring they can be and how important this is for them to continue taking part in the sport that they love. Couple of notes for everybody out there. We Beat the Champ next week moves on to just down the road to Classic Lanes, Sue, and we'll have a good group of bowlers like we always do. Everybody's going to try to take that trophy away from Jeff Walsh.
Right, we expect to see just more high scores and more good bowling coming up in the upcoming weeks. And it's Jeff Walsh's turn to see if he can carry the torch for a little while.
Right, and then shortly after that, we've got qualifying coming up for the following month's series of shows, which are going to be up at Island Lanes in Grand Island.
That's right, so we'll be up in Island in October, and we'll spend Halloween with Mike Mowat.
Oh, that
I feel like any time we spend with Mike Mowat can be a horror on occasion. So, but that'll be a lot of fun. So that will be an awful lot of fun. And again, and Jim, I know you wanted to remind everybody we're at that time of the year now. First full weekend of kind of the fall in September here,
right,
which means you guys in the bowling world get refocused.
Yeah, and you know, the leagues may have started, but a lot of teams are looking for individuals. A lot of leagues might be looking for a team to fill out the league. So don't go thinking that just because maybe 1 or 2 weeks have gone by, you can't get into a league, because there's always time to get in.
Well, here's our star of the show. That's Sandy Smith, bowling for the South Buffalo Lions. She's had a couple of strikes already, and almost another one. What did she say? Over 60 years she's been bowling when we just talked to her?
Yes.
And
amazing.
She bowled on Bowling for Dollars.
And she bowled on the old Bowling for Dollars show. How about that, huh?
You remember that?
I don't remember it, but I've learned an awful lot about it. I'm not that old, John.
I do. No, I remember it.
Well, see, remember, I didn't grow up here, so
That's
I didn't
right.
have a chance to experience all these shows like you Western New Yorkers did, but I've learned all about the great bowling TV traditions of strike, spares, and misses, and of course Beat the Champ and Bowling for Dollars, and my gosh, Jim, at one point were there like 3 or 4 bowling shows all on the air at once?
Yeah, there sure were.
There was
Back
Dialing
in
for
the
Dollars,
heyday.
too.
Yeah.
Dialing for Dollars
that was not
wasn't
bowling,
a
though.
bowling
That's
show,
right.
though.
That's right.
But Bowling for Dollars, Strike, Spares, and Misses, and Boxy Steak Pit.
Boxy
There's a lot.
Steak Pit.
There's a lot of tradition in the Buffalo area with bowling and TV, and
Yes, there is.
But none more popular than Beat the Champ was
Well,
in its heyday.
And we are the longest running local television bowling show dating back into the 1960s, and it's been a lot of fun for us to bring it back, and particularly an event like this where we hope you're getting a lot of enjoyment and fun and inspiration from the outstanding bowlers here in the Buffalo League of Sightless Bowlers.
Were you also on the first show?
Say that again?
Were you on the first show of Beat the Champ?
I was not on the first show, and unless I was right out of the crib there in the mid '60s. No, that was not me, John.
Oh, okay.
Not me. Not me. See, this is now you guys are working me over here now. Huh?
No, actually, before we are finished with the show, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank you for taking part in the show. You've come a long way with your bowling knowledge. Some people are a little critical out there, Paul, but I always defend you.
I understand that.
And Sue is great on the technical side, keeps you walking the straight and narrow.
Yes, she does.
And I don't think we could have made a better choice for our commentator, our color person. I think we hit a home run with that. And all of the proprietors across the board, I haven't heard one complaint. And we're just thrilled with the production of this show, and kudos to WBBZ and you and Sue and anybody else that's involved with it.
Well, thank you. And on behalf of Sue and everybody in the crew and everybody at the station, we appreciate the support you guys have given us. This has been a lot of fun for me. You know, I go back a long way with my mentor, Van Miller, and Van played a big role in this show and taught me a lot about what bowling meant to this community when I came here in the late 80s, coming from an area where bowling was not nearly as significant as it is here. And I learned very quickly, you know, that good old Nin Angelo was as big a star as Gilbert Perreault and O.J. Simpson and Joe Ferguson in the 70s, right?
Yes, sir. Yes. So is this the part where we walk around and pat each other on the back?
No. This is about these bowlers out
guys,
there.
yeah.
It's about these ladies and men who have been wonderful to watch and have put on a great show for us here as we've wrapped up our month-long stay here at Manor Lanes.
And the president of your fan club about to get the spare here?
Yes, Ruth. Ruth. That's all right.
No, Ruth didn't get it.
My fan club needs a president and members, so I'm more than happy to drag Ruth along there. So.
Well, maybe some of our blind bowlers could work along with you.
Hey, I think they're pretty busy. I think they're busy focusing on what they need to focus on. But if you are a fan of this show, we just showed you make sure you like us on the Facebook page, and on social media is the best way to keep track of all the news and events going on with Beat the Champ. And again, we move our show to Classic Lanes just down the road here in Tonawanda for our next series of shows for the next month, and then off to Island Lanes in Grand Island. And before the year is out, we're heading back to Niagara Falls, and then we're heading out to Batavia. So we're going to continue our bowling tour of Western New York.
Absolutely. And next year we already have some centers out of the area that you haven't visited yet that may be interested.
Always good.
We're going to try and expand a little bit, and maybe we see you in the further reaches of Western New York.
And here's how much this show has grown on me. In one of my other 14 jobs that Sue mentioned, I'm involved with the University of Buffalo football team, and next weekend they head to Reno, Nevada to play the Nevada Wolfpack. But I also know that's home of the National Bowling Stadium, and everybody here has said you've got to go check the place out. So it is on my list of things to do before the game. You know, next Saturday is to go and get a little tour of the National Bowling Stadium. See, that's how much you guys have all rubbed off on.
And we should mention, too, that one of your jobs is as a financial advisor.
That's correct.
And I
yes.
understand you can make someone a small fortune.
Well, it's
as long as they start out with a big fortune.
No promises. No, right after you start out with a big fortune. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. I'm proud to be a part of the group over at Accent Advisors, and we help people out with a lot of anything that they need to get helped out with. So thank you very much for the plug, Jim.
Yeah, well, they owe me.
All right, so now we're in the middle of our match here between the South Buffalo Lions and the Sheridan Drive Lions. We've got a good, tight, competitive match going on. You've gotten to see some really good bowling here. John, give us the scouting report on these two squads.
Well, we have one total blind and 3 partials bowling between the two of them.
Wow, that was a nice throw, huh?
It's about time he got out of the gutter, Rod. Right, Rod? It's about time Ken got out of the gutter. He's never going to get out.
We got a little trash talking going on here, huh? All right, you got to refocus over there, Ken. Don't listen to it. Block it out, Ken.
You missed it, bud.
He kind of knew that as soon as he threw it, didn't he?
The action will continue on Beat the Champ in just a minute. Welcome back to Beat the Champ.
Okay, South Buffalo, I have to go to the meeting next Tuesday. Yeah, I noticed that.
All right, here comes Sandy with that 70-year-old bowling ball, right?
Yep.
Hold the ball a little bit.
All right, well, she's been pretty good at picking up those spares.
She has, absolutely.
Yeah, I also have them over a short barrel because they can't drive.
So I see how that
So
works.
if they don't make it look good for me, they don't get a ride.
Oh, I see how that works. A little bribery always gets the best out of everybody, huh?
I also heard that the Classic Lanes for the qualifying, I heard a rumor that Janelle's going to be there. If anybody wants to come out, get their photo taken with her.
Absolutely.
You know, if you're tired of watching Mike Zarcone and Jeff Walsh and Maddie. By the way, those guys are in the, we have a window in the lounge and they're out overlooking the lanes. And they're in there watching this very intently.
Well, that's good. I'm glad they are.
They're fascinated by the fact that these people can do as well as they do also.
Well, a lot of your traveling leagues that come here, Jim.
Right.
They're surprised.
All right, here we've hit our final frame here, 10th frame of this match between the Sheridan Drive Lions and the South Buffalo Lions.
Well, when they were at Alley Brandt Lanes, it came down to the last match. If he can get a triple.
Wow.
Oh!
Nice job by Rod Clark there, getting 9
Come on,
pins.
pick it up.
Now he's got to grab that spare.
Before we end, I would like to thank y'all for coming in and helping us get out there and show people what we can do. And I would like to thank Jim and Brian for all they do for us for many years.
And thanks for being a part of this. We enjoyed your insight, and we enjoyed all the great work that you guys, you and all the Lions around Western New York do to help people out. And you know, and we can't say it enough that's part of what Western New York is all about. Is folks like you and your group helping people out, making their lives better.
Thank you.
You're welcome, John. Thank you for joining us. All right, so Rod Clark is going to finish things off here for us.
Rod. Hey. Turn the hearing aid down.
He
got it.
What a way to wrap things up. How about that? Good job by Rod Clark to grab the spare. What a nice way to fit. And he gets another one out of it. We're in the 10th frame. He gets another throw out of it, too.
Come on, Rod.
Turn in the pit.
And there we go. That brings to a conclusion our wonderful series of matches highlighting the Buffalo League of Sightless Bowlers. We want to thank Jim Russo. We want to thank John Schaefer. Sue and I will come back to talk to the victorious team here and find out what makes it so much fun for them. And then we'll wrap up our trip here to Manor Lanes in Tonawanda. Beat the Champ comes back at you right after this.
Thank you.
Well, Ruth, Rod, and Patsy get bragging rights here as members of the winning Sheridan Drive Lions team. And Rod, you finished it off in grand style there, didn't you?
Thank you, thanks.
So, are you going to hold that? Are you going to hold that winning over the rest of these guys for the rest of the Saturday league?
Absolutely, it's positively correct.
Are you in on that too?
I am.
Right, Patsy. How much fun was this?
Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
You guys were terrific to watch. We can't tell you how much fun it was for us, and I'm sure all of Western New York. You guys are celebrities now, so you're not going to be able to go out to the supermarket anymore without people going, I saw you guys bowling on TV. This was a lot of fun, Sue.
It was absolutely a lot of fun.
All right, well, congratulations. Keep up the good work. It's been fun for us to be a part of this.
Thank you
Ruth,
so much.
Rod, and Patsy, we're back to wrap up this week's edition of Beat the Champ right after this here on WBBZ-TV. Well, Sue, this was a great way to wrap up our month-long stay here at Manor Lanes, and I don't know that anybody can't be inspired by what we just saw over the last hour.
That's right. We've seen people have fun bowling while they're making the TV show, but they're working really hard. Well, these people really learn just to enjoy the sport of bowling for what it's worth. And it was nice to see a lot of fun and laughs while they're bowling, instead of everything being so tight.
And we saw some great bowling by our regular Beat the Champ bowlers here at Manor Lanes. Jeff Walsh is the guy who emerges victorious. He's going to be the first guy up for next week's show at Classic Lanes. You're expecting some good bowling and some high scoring.
I am, and we've got a new sheriff in town with Jeff. He's going to try to run the gamut of shows that we're going to see over there. As a pro shop operator over there, he knows a lot of people, so you know, he's got a reputation to protect too, so we're going to see people come on and try to take him down.
All right, so that's next week when Beat the Champ moves down the road just a little bit over to Military Road in Tonawanda at Classic Lanes. We'll see you for the shows next week. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the wonderful sport of bowling in Western New York. For Sue Navoyski and the gang here at WBBZ, my name is Paul Peck. We'll see you next week on Beat the Champ.